Hello and welcome back to my vlog. We're on to another part of Sophisms of the Protectionists by Bastiat. This is chapter 9 from one of the books in there. Wonderful discovery. At this moment, when all minds are occupied in endeavoring to discover the most economical means of transportation, when to put these means into practice we are leveling roads, improving rivers, perfecting steamboats, establishing railroads, and attempting various systems of traction, atmospheric, hydraulic, pneumatic, electric, etc. At this moment when, I believe, everyone is seeking in sincerity and with ardor the solution of this problem, quote, to bring the price of things in their place of consumption as near as possible to their price in that of production, end quote. I would believe myself acting a culpable part towards my country, towards the age in which I live, and towards myself, if I were longer to keep secret the wonderful discovery which I have just made. I am well aware that the self-illusions of inventors have become proverbial, but I have, nevertheless, the most complete certainty of having discovered an infallible means of bringing the produce of the entire world into France, and reciprocally to transport ours with a very important reduction of price. Infallible, and yet this is but a single one of the advantages of my astonishing invention, which requires neither plans nor devices, neither preparatory studies, nor engineers, nor machinists, nor capital, nor stockholders, nor governmental assistance. There is no danger of shipwrecks, of explosions, of shocks, of fire, nor of displacement of rails. It can be put into practice without preparation from one day to another. Finally, and this will no doubt recommend it to the public, it will not increase taxes 1 cent, but the contrary. It will not augment the number of government functionaries, nor the exigencies of government officers, but the contrary. It will put in hazard the liberty of no one, but the contrary. I have been led to this discovery not from accident, but from observation, and I will tell you how. I had this question to determine, quote, why does any article made, for instance at Brussels, bear an increased price on its arrival at Paris? It was immediately evident to me that this was the result of obstacles of various kinds existing between Brussels and Paris. First, there is distance, which cannot be overcome without trouble and loss of time, and either we must submit to these in our own person, or pay another for bearing them for us. Then come rivers, swamps, accidents, heavy and muddy roads. These are so many difficulties to be overcome, in order to do which causeways are constructed, bridges built, roads cut and paved, railroads established, etc. But all this is costly, and the article transported must bear its portion of the expense. There are robbers, too, on the roads, and this necessitates guards, a police, etc. Now, among these obstacles, there is one which we ourselves have placed, and that at no little expense, between Brussels and Paris. This consists of men planted along the frontier, armed to the teeth, whose business it is to place difficulties in the way of the transportation of goods from one country to another. These men are called custom house officers, and their effect is precisely similar to that of steep and boggy roads. They retard and put obstacles in the way of transportation, thus contributing to the difference which we have remarked between the price of production and that of consumption. To diminish which difference as much as possible is the problem which we are seeking to resolve. Here then we have found its solution. Let our tariff be diminished. We will thus have constructed a northern railroad which will cost us nothing. Nay, more, we will be saved great expenses and will begin from the first day to save capital. Really, I cannot but ask myself in surprise how our brains could have admitted so whimsical a piece of folly as to induce us to pay many millions to destroy the natural obstacles interposed between France and other nations, only at the same time to pay so many millions more in order to replace them by artificial obstacles, which have exactly the same effect, so that the obstacle removed and the obstacle created neutralize each other. Things go on as before, and the only result of our trouble is a double expense. An article of Belgian production is worth at Brussels 20 francs, and from the expenses of transportation, 30 francs at Paris. A similar article of Parisian manufacture costs 40 francs. What is our course under these circumstances? First, we impose a duty of at least 10 francs on the Belgian article, so as to raise its price to a level with that of the Parisian. The government, withal, paying numerous officials to attend to the levying of this duty. The article thus pays 10 francs for transportation, 10 for the tax. This done, we say to ourselves, transportation between Brussels and Paris is very dear. Let us spend 2 or 3 millions in railways, and we will reduce it 1/2. Evidently, the result of such a course will be to get the Belgian article at Paris for 35 francs, viz. 20 francs price at Brussels, 10 francs duty, 5 francs transportation by railroad, is 30 francs total or market price at Paris. Could we not have attained the same end by lowering the tariff to 5 francs? We would then have 20 francs price at Brussels, 5 francs duty, 10 francs transportation on the common road, 35 francs total or market price at Paris. And this arrangement would have saved us the 200 million spent upon the railroad, besides the expense saved in custom house surveillance, which would of course diminish in proportion as the temptation to smuggling would become less. But it is answered, the duty is necessary to protect Parisian industry. So be it. But do not then destroy the effect of it by your railroad. For if you persist in your determination to keep the Belgian article on a par with the Parisian at 40 francs, you must raise the duty to 15 francs in order to have 20 francs price at Brussels, 15 francs protective duty, 5 francs transportation by railroad, 40 francs total at equalized prices. And I now ask, of what benefit under these circumstances is the railroad? Frankly, is it not humiliating to the 19th century that it should be destined to transmit to future ages the example of such puerilities seriously and gravely practiced? To be the dupe of another is bad enough, but to employ all the forms and ceremonies of legislation in order to cheat one's self, to doubly cheat one's self, and that, too, in a mere mathematical account, truly, this is calculated to lower a little the pride of this enlightened age. Words of wisdom. Make it a great day, and bye for now.